Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about the new Charlotte Tilbury Nudegasm Face Palette for runway ready bronze, sculpt, and glow. Amazing. So this is the third Nudegasm palette that she has come out with. Here is a close look at these four products. And I will have additional information down below in my description box because I can't remember the price. I think it's $75. And I did purchase this off of the Charlotte Tilbury site. I think that is the only place it's available right now. It's like an exclusive there, but I'm sure we're going to start seeing it pop up probably on Nordstrom, probably on Sephora, but right now I think it's only available on the Charlotte Tilbury site. So why don't I go ahead and show you the swatches of these. And I didn't go clockwise. I don't know why I did this, but I swatched the highlight, the blush, and then the number 4 shade, the Super Sculpt shade, and then number 3, which is the Soft Sculpt shade. So you can see the highlight and the blush both have shimmer in there, and then the 2 sculpting shades are matte shades. All of the products in here are a baked gelée, much to my joy. These were made in Italy. The product is good for 18 months upon opening, and the net weight is 0.13 ounces per each product. So what I'm going to do is apply this palette to my face. I do have foundation, powder, primer down, all of that good stuff. And then we'll go ahead and apply that. And then I also want to compare it to the 2 previous ones, which were Glowgasm, not Nudegasm, Glowgasm face palettes, the Lightgasm and the Lovegasm. All right, why don't we go ahead and get started putting these on my face. And you know what's interesting? So she has like this order to put stuff on, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it is pretty much the exact opposite that I would normally put products on. I always do highlighter last, I do blush in the middle, and I do my bronzer, whatever, up first. So I'm gonna try it the Charlotte Tilbury way because she obviously knows a lot more than I do. So I'm gonna start with the highlight, and I've got my Refer number 4 brush. It's like an angled cheek brush, and dip into this highlight. And since these are baked gelée products, I do recommend using a denser brush, natural hair brushes. They'll just pick up the product a lot more easily. So I'm just gonna hit the high points of my cheeks. Very bright, very, very bright, wow. And the shade is definitely working for my skin tone. I have a foundation on right now that's a little bit light. It's a little bit lighter than what I usually go for. So I do think this highlight will work for me because I feel like it looks like tap dancing on looking a little bit too deep for my skin tone. But I think it's the foundation I'm wearing and I think it will work for me. But anyway, that is the level of shine that you will get, which is intense. It is a very, very intense shine. And the tone of this highlight, there is a pretty strong like golden, like kind of yellowy golden undertone, but the shine off of it is kind of cool. It's like a white gold, real shiny, real shiny. Let me put some down the bridge of my nose just to really glow it up. Oh wow, can you see that? It's like bling, bling. Okay, wow, Michelle, move on. I'm gonna go into the blush now. I'm really excited for this blush. It's very, very peachy, and I've got my Refer number 24 brush. And just gonna hit the apples of my cheeks here, and then blend out. This blush has such a strong sheen too. It's almost like, you know, when I get the reflection there, I feel like, oh, it doesn't look peach enough, it doesn't look blush enough, but then oh, no, there's plenty of blush on. Ooh, that's a pretty color. Yes, real shiny. And you guys know, I like a sheen to my cheek products. This is not just a sheen, this is shine. Total and absolute shine, wow. Love that blush. In fact, I love all the blushes from these Gasm palettes. Like these 2 in the Lovegasm palette, I just wish she would come out with individual blushes because they're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. This one is no different. All right, and now we're left with the Soft Sculpt and the Super Sculpt. So in the swatches you may have seen, the Soft Sculpt is a little bit of a cooler shade, I do really like that when I want to contour. And this one, the Super Sculpt, seemed to have a little bit of a red undertone, which I really enjoy for bronzer. So I was thinking about sculpting with this and bronzing with this, but I wonder if this is going to be too deep. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to go ahead and sculpt with this Soft Sculpt, do a little contour. I've got my Sonia G Sculpt 1 brush, and just going to pick up some of this Soft Sculpt and just apply it underneath my cheekbones here. Well, very effective with the sculpting. So this is sculpted, unsculpted. All right, let me apply over here. Ooh, I love it. It's just cool toned enough. It doesn't get to the point where I feel like it makes my skin look a little too ashy, where it's like too gray. And now I'm gonna go in with my Rephr number 22 brush. It's a huge bronzer brush, one of my favorites. And I'm gonna go into this Super Sculpt shade and use this as a bronze. So I'm just gonna swipe over my forehead there, down my nose, maybe just a little bit on my cheeks there. What I'm going to do with this brush, I think there's very little product left on here. I'm going to kind of work all of these products together. I feel like the contour looks a little stripy, so I'm just going to blend it all in. Oh yeah, that looks great. That looks great. Ooh, I really like this look. I'm really into that nude look. I'm really, really into the shiny cheeks. And I have to say, I enjoy this one more than the Lovegasm and the Lightgasm. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of my comparison swatches right now. So what I did was I compared it to the Lightgasm. So here's a close-up of the Lightgasm. And I can't remember when these came out, but last year sometime. And I thought the Lightgasm was going to be my favorite, or the one that I use the most, but I just didn't use that much. I thought the blushes were a little bit too light. So just for comparison's sake, I just compared these 3 shades to the Nudegasm, because this is like a pinky gold blush. Just doesn't, there's no comparison in the Nudegasm. So what I did was I swatched this highlight, and then that's next to the highlight in the Nudegasm. And then I swatched this one, and that's next to the Peach Nudegasm blush. And then I swatched this Sculpt shade in between these 2 Sculpt shades in the Nudegasm palette. So that's what you're going to see in these swatches. So it goes Lightgasm, Nudegasm, Lightgasm, Nudegasm, and then Nudegasm, Lightgasm, Nudegasm. Wow. So those are my comparisons. And in terms of personal preference, again, I really like the shades in the Nudegasm a lot more. But let's go ahead and take a look at Lovegasm, which is the palette that I liked more than Lightgasm, and I thought this was going to be a little bit too deep for my skin tone. But here's a close look at Lovegasm. And you'll notice too that Lightgasm and Lovegasm, they both had 2 blushes versus 2 sculpting shades. And I really liked the blush in Lovegasm. I just thought it was so pretty. It had that beautiful sheen. It was this beautiful kind of like pinky peach, and it shifted to like a gold. It was just really, really gorgeous. But it was a lot. Like it was like a statement cheek for sure. But I went ahead and I did the same thing in terms of swatching. So I compared these 3 to the Nudegasm. So again, I've got the Lovegasm highlight, and then I have the Nudegasm highlight, and then I have the Lovegasm blush, and then the Nudegasm blush. And then in between the 2 Nudegasm sculpting shades, I have the sculpting shade from Lovegasm. Now the Lovegasm highlight and the Lovegasm sculpting shade, I could get away with. I had to use them with a light hand because they were a little bit deep for my skin tone. But the Nudegasm, I feel like just works really well for my skin tone. So I'm really preferring this palette to the other 2 because I feel like I can use all the shades. I really didn't know what to do with the 2 blushes in here because they were both so shiny. It wasn't like one was matte and you can kind of put that down everywhere and then you could kind of throw the shiny one on the apples of your cheeks or like next to the highlight or something. They were just kind of similar in their effect. So I never really knew what to do with the two blushes in the Lightgasm and the Lovegasm. Same with this. And these were two different tones. It was just, I don't know, it was just kind of like I had to use one or the other, so I couldn't end up using all four of the shades. But in this Nudegasm, I feel like having these two shades in here, the soft sculpt and the super sculpt, or for me, a sculpt and a bronze, I think works out really, really well. And I'm just loving the highlight. And this blush is really pretty. It's gorgeous. It's not quite as bright and metallic and a statement as the ones in the Lovegasm or even the ones in the Lightgasm. The Lightgasm ones are lighter, but just so much metallic shift, where this one is a little bit more subtle. I mean, there's obviously a metallic shift there, but it's not quite as crazy. So I'm excited that I got this. I was really hesitant about whether or not I should pick this up, but I'm glad I did because I do like this more than the other two. So anyway, what I'm gonna do is finish up my look. I'm actually gonna use the products in here on my eyes, see how that works. So I'm gonna go into this blush shade here. I've got my Sonia G Worker 1 brush, and I'm pretty much gonna apply this all over my lid. Oh yeah, really pretty. And then I'm just going to take the same brush. I'm going to go into the soft sculpt shade and use this as a transition shade. Oh, wow. This is great. You know, usually face products are a lot less pigmented than eyeshadows. And so you end up having to like really use a lot of products. Sometimes it just never works out. But I don't feel like I had to use that much product. And I'm getting a pretty effective eye look here. All right, and last but not least, I'm just going to take my Sonia G Soft Definer brush and I'm going to go into the highlight and just add that to my inner corners here. Wow, okay, I'm in love with this palette even more now. I love it. I love it. I love the eye look. I love my cheeks. Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me go ahead and put on the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. All right, well, here is my finished look using the Charlotte Tilbury Nudegasm palette. I really, really like it. I do. I think the quality is there. I love the shades. It just really works really well for me. I love it on my eyes. I'm just a big fan, Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.